What's up, everybody out there? How y'all doing? Artist of Strong Style, yeah? Now, okay. I've shown you the Monarch deck, right? Now, it's a Monarch deck again, but it is completely, almost, let's say, 80% different. The 20% would be like, yeah, the magic cards. What I mean by the 80% are the monsters. Because I'll explain to you this. Okay, you saw before, yeah, it was working so well. Playing the idea, the idea. You're gonna go into making to the Edios, and pretty much that's your combo right there to bring out your Monarch. But think of this: what do we know if it gets stopped by Ash Blossom, Evict Veiler, Ghost Ogre, Infinite Impermanence, Forbidden Droplet? We know those cards. If those cards are played, excuse me there. Okay, imagine those are played on your little ideas. Then you're stuck because you can't tribute. And then with Edios, yeah, you have that out, and then you're going to tribute with your domain. So, what he told me was, why don't you try to make this completely way different? And then Ether as well. When you bring that out, you're going to bring out a pretty much a Monarch. But there's no point to it possibly anymore, because you're just bringing that out and you're just bringing out just a Monarch. But you want to have an effect of possibly you can do some damage to your opponent. Also, what you really want to do is get rid of your opponent's monsters, right? Besides Monarchs and using their effects, what other cards can screw up your opponent's monsters? And I have done this so many times, and I will completely using it, is the Kaijus. So how I made this is you're going Monarchs, Kaiju, and then I've been looking like very, very long time. I want to run back my favorite dragon. My favorite dragon out of all, which I'll show you in a bit. And then I did put that dragon in the deck. And then since you are using a lot of light and darks, because yeah, it's going to be light and darks. And then what works? What does that make that? What is the name of that? Chaos. So it's a Kaiju Monarch, and you're putting it into a Chaos version. So, further ado, here we go. Okay, yes. You are using the Erebus. So, Erebus, yeah. Pretty much, yes. We already know when that is summoned out. It can be tributed as a one tribute as long as you're tributing a tributed monster. And then when that goes, send one magic or trap of a Monarch from your deck to the graveyard. Yeah. Between Ether and Erebus, Erebus is the only one you're using. You're not using Ether in this. So this is what I mean by it's completely different. You're not using Ether. Now, you are going to use Caius for banishing a card your opponent controls. Your opponent's going to take 1,000 points of damage. If you tributed a dark monster for it, you're going to get 2. Now, if you hit an opponent's monster that's a dark, all their cards of their copies are going to be banished. Now, okay. Then there's Mega Cyborg, Mega Mobius, and Mega Destalos. If I need to, I'll take these out and go for a Cyborg, because yeah, light and darks. Even if Mobius and Destalos are fire and water, does not matter because I love their effects. Mega Cyborg, when he is tributed, then you destroy a monster on the field. then I'll keep on reading of what Mega Saborg is. So, tributed by tributing a one tributed monster. It can be done by one tributed as well, by tribute one monster. Then target one monster on the field, destroy it. Then, if it was a light monster, both players send as many cards as possible from their extra deck to the graveyard, but no more than the original level or rank of the monster you destroyed. Now, if it was tributed by using a light monster, then add this. Then you're gonna add this effect. You choose the number of cards your opponents that are gonna be sent to the graveyard. So if you tributed a light, and yes, it destroys a card, destroys a monster. Let's say that was okay. Simple. You hit a Dark Magician, level 7, right? Now the effect is all cards go, right? No, you are gonna choose the 7 cards that you want from your opponent's extra deck and send them to the graveyard. You're gonna choose it, not your opponent. If you just did a normal tribute and destroyed, okay, fine. But that's what's better about Saborg. If you sacrificed one of your monsters and it was a light, you're gonna choose. You're gonna choose your opponent's cards. That's what's good about Saborg. But remember, it has to be a light monster. If you hit a light monster, so sometimes what you might want to do, destroy itself. Because you must hit a monster, and if it was a light, then the effect goes. Now, if you did hit a light, and like I just said, if you tributed one of your own lights, and you hit a light, you're going to choose the cards from your opponents. So let's say, yeah, they have 14 cards in there. Let's say 7 of those cards, since, yeah, Dark Magician is 7, so you send away 7 cards from their extra deck. Now, sometimes, if you already know they're going to need those cards, get rid of them then. So when they play an extra deck, they don't got those cards anymore that they can play. Mega Mobius. Done by one tribute also. Destroy 3 magic traps your opponent controls. Mega Destalos. Discard 1 card, choose 1 card from your opponent's hand. Send it to the graveyard. If it was a monster, times 200 if it was the monster's level, and yeah, times 200 they'll take. Now, of course, I would go with of course, yeah, Caius, because I love Caius, and then yeah, you can go 3 Saborg. I'm gonna get 2 more in the mail, so I can go 3 Saborg. But I like this version a bit better because I want to play all those different kind of versions. So you can play. So I'm playing Banish, Destruction, Destruction of the Magic and Traps, and then take away a card from my opponents. So I'm playing all versions. Unless I want to go to you're gonna play Caius and yeah, you want to go a Chaos version, but it's not that bad to run these in as well because you want to play effects where you're gonna hit your opponent. Now, okay, I was using 2 Mithra. Now you're going to go 3 Mithra. Good effect. Special summon him already you can. You're going to give your opponent a light monster. And then this is when you're going to want to do this and hit the light token for Saborg. Or just, yes, another special summon. I was using 2. Now you're going to go 3. Then here's a new one. It's the Rock Vassal. He is very, very good, to tell you the truth. If this card is in your hand, you're going to target 1 face-up card your opponent controls. You cannot special summon cards from your extra deck, which you are not playing from your extra deck. Then, you're going to special summon this card. And if you do, change that monster you have targeted, put it to face-down defense position. Or you just special summon it. Now, what I meant by Eidos and Idea, you're not using them. So that's why I'm saying it's a bit different. You're not going to use Ether. You're not going to use Idea. You're not going to use Etios. Those are my only vassals I'm using. And then, of course, your anti-fright. If you have no cards in the extra deck, which you don't, pendulum it, draw your card, destroy it, revive it right back. And it is a light monster. But it'll be removed from play, removed from your, remove when tributed. Now, okay. Kaijus. So you're going to go with Star Destroying, Thunder King, and 2 Raiden. Only the light and dark kaijus. No Gamma Seal, no Mystery Dust, no Mad Flame. These are the only kaijus you're using. Now, the only reason why I'm putting in 2 Raiden is because, yeah, you have 2 darks. The reason why I'm not using 2-2 is because they're both lights. So you have 2 light, 2 dark. Your only kaijus. And of course, no interrupt the kaiju slumber. You're using kaijus in here. Because yes, what if you give your opponent, of course, you're going to give him a light. You're going to hit that light with support. You got, and then, okay, you hit a monster, right? This is a level 10. You're going to send away 10 cards from your opponent's extra deck. 10. Now, since I'm using a Chaos, 1 BLS, I say he's just decent, alright, good to use. I would still use him. Even though people don't use him, I would still use him. He's that consistent good in a Chaos version. And then what I've been waiting so long to find out, how do I run this dragon? And he's my favorite dragon out of all. Dark Arm Dragon. 2 of them. You are allowed 3, but I would use 2. He is my favorite dragon out of the whole entire game. Dark Arm Dragon. You need exactly 3 darks in your graveyard. Special summon Dark Arm Dragon. Then, when it is special summon, you can send those cards from your graveyard, remove them from play, and destroy 1 card on the field. He is like a, as soon as you summon him, he shoots. He's going to destroy. You need exactly 3. And it is possible to do this. My favorite dragon, I have been like waiting so long. How do I run this dragon again? I've seen Teledad. That doesn't work for me. I've tried, I've seen others, but again, I don't play competitive. That's the only way you're going to run this card. But then with this now, it's like, no way. You're using your favorite deck, which, my favorite deck out of all, Monarch. What I love to play also, Kaiju. And my favorite dragon, Dark Arm Dragon. That's 3 decks into 1. And I love Dark Arm Dragon. So that's why I'm like, thank God I'm able to run Dark Arm Dragon once again. Now that's just for monsters. The magic cards, of course, your 3 domain, the field spell. Remember, as long as you count this as your 1 tribute, so even if you played your vassal, count that as 1 tribute, activate domain as your 2nd tribute, and as long as you have a tributed monster on the field, your opponent cannot play from the extra deck. Same thing, Tenacity. Your Searcher. Your Draw power, Pantheism. Stormforth, of course. Pretty much it's just the same magic. And then just, we go with the Return of the Monarchs and then March of the Monarchs. Prime. Here's what gets interesting about Dark Arm Dragon. Add from your hand of a different. So whichever you're gonna bring out, let's just say you go. So yeah, attribute a monster. Let's just say Caius. Anytime attribute, as long as you have Return of the Monarchs on the field, and you play attribute a monster, you're gonna activate Return of the Monarchs. You search for a with a different name of a 24 1,000 defensor or a 28 1,000 defensor. Look at Dark Arm Dragon. 28 attack, 1,000 defensor. You can search for Dark Arm Dragon. So don't think it's hard. Like, am I going to draw Dark Arm Dragon? No, Return of the Monarchs is going to help you get a Dark Arm Dragon. And then, of course, yeah, reveal it if you need to play Tenacity. So you saw this. No Ether. No Edios. No Idea. No Reinforcement of the Army. There is nothing of those cards in here. Because, like I said, yeah, Idea. You're going to summon out. You're going to special summon out Edios. But if they Ash Blossom the Idea, you only have that one little monster on the field. And you can get killed instantly. But why not you switch it around a bit? And then I thought of this way. Well, my friend told me, why don't you try the Kaijus in here? I thought that was ridiculous. Like, no, that doesn't go. Unless you take those cards out, it does go. And Kaijus can screw up your opponent instantly. Even if you do not have your, fine, you're gonna Kaiju. You have Kaijus, you're gonna give your opponent a Kaiju. Give what you do. Do what Kaijus do. Get rid of your opponent's monsters. It's just okay. I haven't tried this deck yet in a duel, but I will. But how I'm testing it right now, just for myself, it's well done. And then what I'm so glad about is that I found my way of running back my favorite dragon out of all, the Dark Arm Dragon. I can go 3, but I'm going 2 because I would count this as my third one, but you're playing Chaos, so why not run BLS? Of course, yeah, I do have, 2 extra Mobiuses. If I want to go 3 Mobius, 3 Caius, whatever you want to develop making. But right now, it's running each of those and then 3 Caius because Caius is my favorite. And then why not play the other methods that you can do, right? To take cards away, destroy the backfield, and just there you go. I thought of this version. It works. Because I thought before, Kaijus, no, they do not work with Monarchs. Only because I was doing the normal version of like using Monarchs, using Ether, using all that. But then I started thinking, yeah, you do have those little ones out, which is, going to help you bring out your Monarchs. But then if you're Ash Blossomed, Forbidden Droplet, Infinite Permanence, then you're stuck. You just have that little monster out and you got nothing on the field. Dark Arm Dragon, thank you for coming right back. And you work with my favorite deck out of all and favorite cards I like to play in the deck. That's all 3 of my favorite things I love to do. I love the Monarchs. I love using the Kaijus because I love to screw up my opponent with Kaijus and it's just so fun to do. And then I'm running again my favorite dragon. Favorite deck, favorite cards to screw up my opponent, and then my favorite dragon out of all time. Dark Arm Dragon. I'm sure others, of course, yeah, their favorite might just be the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Oh, another friend, another one of my friends is Judgment Dragon. But me, of all, well, actually, before, when I wasn't playing the Kaijus, I was just using Dark Arm Dragon. I was pulling off Dark Arm Dragon. I just didn't put the Kaijus in. I was just using my normal way and adding in Dark Arm Dragon. I was bringing out Dark Arm Dragon. It was just so fun to do. Or like when you keep on just tributing. You want to tribute your darks to play, Caius, tribute, play Erebus. Okay, you have return. You have at least 2 in there. Give your opponent my Raiden. I can search. I was searching for my Dark Arm Dragon already. So rather if I get it into my hand, or I can search for it because of Return of the Monarchs. I love it. So fun. Thank you again for coming back. and more entertainment now because you are in my favorite deck, and you are in the deck of using cards I love to use to screw up my opponent. So yeah, a chaos version, a completely different monarch, using it with kaijus, and you're using your favorite dragon out of all time. Amazing of how different this is compared to the original monarch deck you would make. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to show you a video of this. I will speak to y'all later. Peace.